Friends, today at Garfin's Creation, I'll be sharing this super delicious Mawa cake. You may have tried many Mawa cakes across various bakeries and stores. And definitely come across the Merwan's famous Mawa cake. So these are the famous Mawa cake from the Mumbai Grand Road Merwan Bakery. These Mawa cakes are not the same like what we used to get before. The taste was completely different. Then I decided that I should make something better for everyone too. So if you too miss the Mawa cake from this bakery and you too would like to have a rich, flavorful Mawa cake, so this recipe is definitely for you. So here is all the ingredients required for this Mawa cake. I'll be putting the detailed recipe in the description box as well. So we'll begin the recipe by sieving the dry ingredients first. So here I have taken 1 plus 1/3 cup of all-purpose flour. And into this I'll be adding 1 teaspoon of baking powder. We'll sieve both the ingredients together in a bowl. And into this I'll be adding 1 teaspoon of Elaichi powder, cardamom powder, and 2 tablespoons of cashew nut powder. This is really going to add more richness to this Mawa cake. Now just mix all these dry ingredients together. So these were all the dry ingredients. You just mix it and keep it aside, and then we'll proceed with the wet ingredients too. For the wet ingredients, here I've taken 1 cup of butter. I have used the normal Amul butter. It was at room temperature for a long time, so now it is nice and soft. So this is how we need to use the butter before we start whisking it. Now into this I'll be adding approximate 1 cup of castor sugar. In place of castor sugar, you can just grind some sugar in the mixie jar and add that too. Using the Amul butter is really going to add the rich flavor to this cupcakes too. So now I'm going to whisk the butter and the sugar till the butter gets a little bit pale. We need to make sure that all the ingredients are at room temperature. Using the soft butter will help in mixing these ingredients well too. And do scrape the bowl in between so that everything combines well. So I'll continue whisking the butter and the sugar, and this will take approximate 2 minutes to get it nice, fluffy and pale in color. If you do not have this electric beater, you can use a hand whisk and whisk it well too. So now this mixture looks nice and pale. I'll stop here and we'll just scrape the bowl once more. If you feel your sugar is not completely dissolved yet, no worries. As we add the eggs, that too will be taken care of. So now here I have taken 3 eggs. Those are also at room temperature, and I'll be adding 1 at the time. Add 1 egg and then whisk it, and then continue adding the next egg in between. For those of you who want an eggless version of this Mawa cake, I have already shared an eggless version of the Mawa cake. I'll put the link in the description box and at the end of the video too. So here now I have added the last egg as well. So I'll continue whisking now once more till all the eggs are well mixed into this mixture. Once this is done, I will scrape the bowl once more. Scraping the bowl in between will ensure that all the ingredients are mixed well. And you will notice by now the sugar too is completely dissolved. So now I'll just continue whisking this just for a few seconds till everything is well mixed. So now it's time to add the Mawa into this mix. So here I've taken 1 cup of Mawa or Khoya. This is the unsweetened Mawa. This Mawa or Khoya you get in chunks, so I'll just crumble it and add it to the mixture. I mentioned the entire recipe in grams and in cups as well in the description box. But it's best to follow the recipe by grams as you get good results. So after adding the Mawa, I'll whisk it again till it is well mixed into the mixture. Here you can whisk it for just a minute and the Mawa gets mixed well with the mixture. Now I'll be adding the dry mix into it. I'll be adding in batches. So I've just added a little of the dry mix and I'll just mix it with a spatula now. For the entire recipe, I mentioned the ingredients in cups as well, and I've been using a 200 ml measuring cup. Once you have tried this recipe, you will surely love the flavor of this Mawa cake. And you'll definitely not miss any of the Mawa cakes from any of the bakeries. So now here lastly, added all the remaining dry mix and mix it well once more. Once I've mixed this with a spatula, I'll just use the electric beater once more, just for a few seconds so that everything mixes well. So now this looks done, and now we'll just check the consistency of this batter. We still have to adjust the milk now. When you drop the batter from the height, it takes time to fall back. So we just need to add a little liquid into this to make it into a little soft batter. So I'll just add 2 tablespoons of room temperature milk and whisk it once more. Don't get confused about the liquid you need to add in this. Just add 2 tablespoons of milk and whisk it once more and the batter will be fine. So I'll just whisk this for a few seconds and our batter is ready. So I'll scrape the bowl once more for the last time and you can check the consistency now. The batter has got a little more smooth and soft in texture. So now it's time to fill in some cupcakes or some cake tins. So here I've taken a square cupcake tin. Just added the cupcake liners and just given it a shape in the corners so that it gets a square shape. We can use the regular round cupcake molds as well. You can also use a loaf tin or a round cake tin to make this cake. So here I'm just adding 2 tablespoons of the batter in each mold, as this mold is a little larger in size. Whichever mold you use, don't fill it to the top, just fill it 3/4. And then just spread it to the corners and then just tap it for a few times so that all the air bubbles come out. Now bake these cupcakes in a preheated oven at 170 degrees centigrade with the lower heating coil on for about 15 to 18 minutes. You can also use this aluminum containers and fill it 3/4 and then bake it. With this quantity of batter, you'll get around 12 to 15 cupcakes, depending on the size of the cupcake or the tin you use. So this loaf tin too I'll be baking along with some other few cupcakes that I got with the remaining batter. The baking time depends on the oven and also the size of your cupcake or the tin you've used. So it's best to keep an eye on the oven after 10 to 12 minutes. If you see them getting brown from the sides, you can take it out and check it out with a toothpick. Once out of the oven, let it be on the cooling rack to cool down completely. So here our delicious and most flavorful mawa cake is ready. These are so soft and spongy. And the taste and the texture of this mawa cake is totally awesome. The khoya we have used, the Amul butter and the cashew nut powder really adds the richness to these mawa cupcakes. If you love mawa cakes, do try this recipe and I'm sure you'll never regret trying this recipe. The texture is so soft and so moist. And the taste, I'm sure you'll not go back to Merwan's again. Happy baking and do try this recipe out and do let me know how you liked it. Thanks for watching Garfin's creation videos and I'll see you soon again in some more videos. Till then, take care and bye bye.